You're watching the NJSIAA on News 12 Varsity. Welcome to Kean University in Union, New Jersey, the home of the Central Group 2 Championship, featuring 5th-seeded Bernards and 3rd-seeded Manasquan. Our producer is Thomas Schnars. I'm David Resnick. Bernards out of the mid-state 38 and Manasquan from the Shore Conference ready to do battle in our 4th and final game from Kean University. Lofton Hoover had trouble initially with the return. He figured it out. And good special teams tackle by the Warriors. Stephen Gribben, number 17, is the quarterback for Bernards. And the Mountaineers start their first drive of the game at the 12. Jet sweep. Comes to the near side. Matt Tantliff got the call. Tantliff is quite the offensive talent. 118 carries, 41 receptions. Nearly 1,800 total yards and 25 touchdowns. He is one of our impact players. And Mark Murphy, a two-way machine, is the other. This is Stephen Gribben, the quarterback on the scramble, getting the Mountaineers off to a good start on this drive. Matt Tantliff again. Two impact players for the Warriors of Manasquan, a pair of two-way seniors. Thomas Mayer will play running back and linebacker. And then Adam Schreck, tight end and defensive end. Guys that will go both ways for the Warriors. Flag is down. Full start against Bernards. First down and 15. First negative thought of this drive for the Mountaineers. The number 5 seed. Stephen Gribben steps up, throws it well too far of his intended target. That was Matt Tantliff. Tommaso Jamie, the senior, in on coverage. For the Mountaineers of Bernards, just their 2nd sectional final in school history. Looking for their first title. 2nd down and 15. The fake to Tantliff. This is a run up the middle. Ethan Caldwell runs between the tackles across midfield. Third and 9, slant complete. Kurt Goulden has the first down for Bernards. Drive continues for Bernards. Tommy Antonucci is credited with the tackle. This drive started back at their own 12, just seconds into the game. And the Mountaineers are marching down the field. Alex Mastinardi, he runs the jet sweep. Good for nearly 5.
About 4, second and 6.
One of the ends for Manasquan might have moved, deflected at the line, and intercepted. Tommy Antonucci swooped in and has the takeaway for Manasquan. Bernards was moving the ball well down the field. And the pick sets up the Warriors 1st and 10 at the 33. Quarterback Jerry Marr. Will hand it off. Off tackle right. Connor Morgan is the workhorse back. He'll share carries with Thomas Mayer. Fourth and final game from Kane University, part of 23 state and section championships in the state of New Jersey. Morgan is across the 40. While Manasquan or rather Bernards is into the state title game for the first, or looking for their first state title. Manasquan has 11 section titles to their name, and they've returned to the championship under head coach Jay Price. 3rd and 3 for the Warriors after the interception. Morgan has the first down. Needed the 43. He'll be spotted
First down for the Warriors.
just shy of the 45-yard line, but good enough for the number 6 seed to move the chains. Their playoff run started with a victory over 6-seeded Johnson to 33-29. And then another close game in the semifinals, knocking off 2nd-seeded Roselle 31-27. 4 straight carries for Connor Morgan. He gets around the left side. Matt Tantliff helps make the stop. James Pendergast has to come off. Tommy Antonucci takes his spot as a wideout. Couldn't tell if it was an equipment issue for Pendergast. Big hole for Connor Morgan. Using the lead block down the near side. Thomas Mayer helped create the hole and get Morgan into space. First down for the Warriors. Thomas Mayer, first one through.
We're on stop.
First player other than Connor Morgan to get a touch. So they'll mix those two out of the backfield. Manasquan had won 8 or 7 in a row before dropping a Thanksgiving Day matchup with Wall, 21-3. The Warriors out of the short conference. You'll still find a number of Thanksgiving matchups in that part of the state. The pitch to Connor Morgan. Stacked up at the original line of scrimmage. First time that Morgan's been stopped by this Bernards defense. Mark Murphy was part of the unit that shaded over to make the stop. Murphy with 126 tackles. An incredible number. Third and 10. Barr throws down the field, jump ball, and rising up to make the catch, James Pendergast.
Well defended. That'll be a Warriors first down at about the 13-yard line.
Pendergast back on the field after taping up his knees. That's why he had to leave momentarily. A leaping grab on third down extends the drive down to the 13 and right back to Connor Morgan, rumbling his way down to the 5. PJ Chisholm's helmet comes off, so he has to leave the game for a play. Perhaps last year there were a number of players that tried to act as if their helmets weren't off and delayed running off, but Chisholm, honorable. From the 6, it's second down and 3. Extra blocker and James Melly added to the backfield. Morgan is still on his feet as he pushes forward. Down to the 1. A question on the placement of the football. Was pretty clear that it was a first down. Morgan walks in. Touchdown, Manasquan. Methodical drive for Manasquan. 67 yards. That took up nearly 6 minutes of clock. Headlined by Connor Morgan and finished off with a 2-yard touchdown run, carrying 9 times for 38 yards. Kick is good. It is 7-0. Manasquan has the early lead. So the interception by Tommy Antonucci and the long touchdown drive by Manasquan results in a 7-0 lead. Adam Schreck added the PAT, and now he will kick it away. The returner took a step back into the end zone. Matt Tantliff crossed the goal line, and so that play is dead with the ball coming out to the 20. .352 to go. First quarter. Mountaineers were gashing the Warriors defense before turning it over. That was Matt Tantliff that took the Wildcat snap around the right side.
Just past 25. Second.
Stephen Gribben back in there with Golden in motion. And now it's Tantliff that's motioned to the backfield. The fake to Caldwell. And it's Gribben that takes it for a first down.
And that's the first down for the Mountaineers.
From the 31. Low snap. Swung out. Incomplete. The sophomore Ethan Caldwell out of the backfield. Couldn't hang on. Twin receiver set with 2:46 to go. Gribben with the pocket collapsing goes down. Thomas Mayer got to the quarterback. And he met Jack Mallett there for the sack. Mountaineers riding a 5-game winning streak. Wins over Point Pleasant Borough and then top-seeded Lincoln to reach this championship game. Gribben, draw play, has running room. Stephen Gribben up the middle and converts on 3rd and 12.
That'll be a Bernard first down. Tom Meyer brings it down at the 48-yard line.
Had 198 passing yards plus 4 touchdowns. But early, it's his legs that's been doing the damage. Tantliff reversing field, but can't get away from the swarm. Tommy Antonucci makes the final blow. A loss of 8 yards. Pass batted down. Adam Schreck, the defensive end, got his hands up. Coming around the left edge. Third and 18. Tantler sends it down the field. Another interception. Both by Tommy Antonucci. Two first quarter INTs for the junior Tommy Antonucci. First down run from Connor Morgan with this drive starting at the 26. Final minute of the first quarter. Manasquan leading 7-0. Just a 2-yard pickup for Murphy, or Morgan rather. Second and 8 with under a minute to go. Connor Morgan cuts up the field. Connor Morgan being tugged at by the jersey and stays on his feet. 21 yards on the pickup. But a flag at the 40. Block in the back called against the Warriors. Manasquan will allow the final seconds to run off the first quarter clock and take a touchdown lead into the second. Manasquan 7, Bernards nothing in this Central Group 2 championship game. 1 quarter complete on News 12 Varsity. Second down and 6 to start the second quarter. Manasquan has possession and the lead, 7-0. Connor Morgan has the first quarter touchdown, and he gets the carry here running left. Mark Murphy with yet another tackle. Just an astronomical number. Even approaching 100 tackles over the course of an 11-game season is an incredible feat. But 126 is an insane number, frankly. 3rd and 4. Morgan is stopped.
There is a penalty flag down.
Penalty marker down.
Block in the back.
Another block in the back.
Against Manasquan.
Already 2 on this drive for Manasquan. Thomas Schnarr's our producer. I'm David Resnick from Kane University.
And we'll bring up a 4th
Central Group 2 Championship.
3 at the 33.
Lincoln and Raritan playing a classic last season here at Kane. Lincoln took down Raritan in the quarterfinals, and then Lincoln succumbed to Bernards in the semis. Manasquan wisely kicking away for Matt Tantliff. 1st and 10 at the 27 for Bernards. Just underway in the 2nd quarter. Staying on his feet, Alex Mastinardi came on the end around. Pre-snap foul. Encroachment call against the Manasquan defense. Stays on the ground, and the running back is swallowed up. It was the linebacker, Steve Jarrah, along with the lineman, Dylan Passetti, combining for the stop. Pushing forward. Gribben took it on the keeper after the Chisholm run. It was 3rd and less than a yard. Dead ball personal foul against Manasquan. Heavily penalized first half. So into Manasquan territory is Bernards. They've turned it over via an interception their first 2 drives. Back to the air. Gribben throws it down the field, and it's broken up. Intended for Kurt Goulden and Kyle LeBlanc. The safety came over in coverage. 9:36 to go, first half. Bernard's trailing by a touchdown. Tantliff comes in motion and receives the handoff. Running room to the right, dragged down by Tommy Antonucci, but another first half flag. The men in stripes with a busy first half. Chop block being marked off from the 43-yard line. 15 yards on the penalty. Costly chop blocking call. Bernard's faced with a second down and 23, needing to reach the 35-yard line in Manasquan territory. Goulden settles as a slot back. Gribben throws under pressure. Short hops Tantliff, who is the only receiver in the area to avoid an intentional grounding call. 3rd and 23 with 9:11 remaining in the second quarter. Bernard's has moved the ball effectively, but no points to show for it just yet. They were 4th in the Mid-State 38 Valley Division, and yet they find themselves playing for a section title. Play fake. Gribben completes near side, allows Tantliff to make a play. But look at all the blue jerseys swarming to the football and getting to the dangerous playmaker in Matt Tantliff. Fourth down, shy of midfield. 4th and 17. Timmy Lawless punts it. No return. First and 10, starting spot at the 26. The pitch, and now the reverse. Morgan got the first handoff, and he tosses it to James Pendergast. 5-yard pickup on the reverse. Connor Morgan gets pushed back. P.J. Chisholm among others. Play clock winding down, and Manasquan calls for time. First timeout taken by Manasquan, 6:44 to go. First half. Third and 3 carry for Tommy Antonucci.
Golden knocked him out of bounds.
Stop shy of the 35, it looks like. Check that. A linesman stood at the 35. Sticks began to move after the referee came over to look at the ball. And now a referee's timeout for an injured player. First down stands with 6:36 to go in the first half. So Manasquan converts to not get a glimpse to see who's at the center of attention here. Tommy Antonucci, the junior, who's already had quite the productive first half. A pair of interceptions defensively. They are picking up the first down. Walking slowly to the trainer's table. Fresh set of downs thanks to Antonucci, but he'll watch from the side as the drive continues at the 34. Five-man front by Bernards. Quick drop, deflected pass, still caught by the tight end, Adam Schreck. Nice job with his concentration to keep his eyes on the ball as he was surrounded by white jerseys looking to swarm him and the football. 6-yard completion to Schreck. Second down 4. And that was just 2 straight touches to a player not named Connor Morgan. I believe that's the first time today. Screen to the outside. Tommaso Jamie has the first down, but a flag right at the marker at the 47.
There is a marker down.
It's a hold against the Warriors. They've been penalized quite a bit as they've tried to maneuver themselves to the outside.
Ball put back to the 38. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Spot of the foul makes it pretty close to 2nd and 10. Delayed handoff as it goes back to Connor Morgan. Caldwell with the tackle. He went low. And Alex Mastronardi went high. And those two together took down Morgan. He did, however, pick up about 3.5 yards to bring up 3rd and 6, approaching 5 minutes to go. Not only is this a matchup for a section title, but it's a battle between two teams in our Tri-State Top 15 small school poll. Manasquan at 7, Bernard's a couple of spots behind at 12. Morgan breaks free. 1st down, Manasquan. On this occasion, there was a perimeter run without a penalty marker. On to Bernard's side of the field. 1st and 10. Morgan secures the ball. Has the lead block from Mayer. Morgan still on his feet. Tiptoeing his way down to the sideline for 6. A harmless looking run results in a 46-yard scamper to pay dirt. 13-0 Manasquan. Adam Schreck adds the extra point. Connor Morgan has both touchdowns for the Warriors this evening. A short run of the 1st quarter and then a 46-yard burst. 14-0 Warriors here in the 2nd quarter. Adam Schreck kicks it away. A deep kick that's coming out for a touchback. "74-yard drive, 4 minutes and 20 seconds of possession. Results in the 2nd touchdown for Manasquan today. 4:06 remaining 1st half. Bernard's has the ball, 1st and 10 at the 20. Mountaineers spread it out. Mastinardi in motion. This is Tantliff with the Wildcat snap. And he is buried after a pickup of maybe one. Warriors not confused, not fooled. They know exactly how to handle it when Tantliff takes a direct snap. He's got about 1,000 yards rushing on the season. Over 800 receiving yards. You usually see that type of production and distribution from a running back, or from a quarterback rather. Gribben, somebody who's capable of rushing for 1,000 and throwing for 1,000, but Matt Tantliff, he probably won't get there in terms of his receiving yards, but he was close to a 1,000 guy as an athlete. Inside of 3 minutes to go, Bernard's facing a 3rd and 5. As head coach John Cimino looks on, trying to become the first coach in Bernard's history to win a section title. Delayed handoff as Ethan Caldwell skips through a hole. Big pickup for Bernards. 20 yards on 3rd down. A toss behind the line of scrimmage to Caldwell. He gets grabbed at and brought down. Peter Mills and Thomas Meyer combining for the tackle. Second down, 8 with under 2 minutes to go. Bernard's trailing 14-0. From the 47. Stephen Gribben in at quarterback, play fake, throws down the field, and it's broken up. Mastinardi thought he was open until the safety, Kyle LeBlanc, came from out of the frame to knock down the pass. Warriors defending the deep ball very well. LeBlanc there with the good play. Antonucci with 2 interceptions. He's out of the game, however, at the moment. Gribben stepping up and overthrowing Mastinardi. It's now 4th down and 8. The senior Alex Mastinardi, the intended target on the last 2 attempts. Tommy Antonucci being carted off while sitting in the front seat. They were working, I believe, on one of his legs. So we hope the best for Tommy as Timmy Lawless kicks it away. The punt will stop at the 21. 1:24 remaining and 2 timeouts for Manasquan. They've had touchdown drives of 67 and 74 yards. They would need to go 79 yards here in a minute 24. But they have a pair of touchdowns. And they also have Connor Morgan, who has been a workhorse to the definition here in the first half. He gets another carry, running right. Tackle by Andrew Best. .40 seconds to go. Manasquan in no hurry. Warriors get the ball to start the second half. Here's Morgan running right.
Around the right side.
Dragged down out of bounds by Ethan Caldwell.
That's the Warriors' first down.
First down. And also man down. Connor Morgan crawling. And staying on his back. Twofold cause of concern. One, there's a player down. And two, it's Connor Morgan. And it does seem that Adam Schreck is looking on with very intent eyes. Morgan already with 18 carries, 118 yards. In addition to those 2 touchdowns. Joe LaRosa and Peter Mills providing an escort. Make that Owen Hall, not LaRosa. So 15 seconds to go, first half, and with their stud back walking gingerly to the side, they will still run the football. On what should be the final play, Thomas Mayer up the middle, and that will do it. So Manasquan taking a 2-touchdown lead, but concerned to think about during halftime as their star Connor Morgan is earning the attention of the athletic training staff. But regardless, the Warriors in command, up 14-0 at halftime. This is the Central Jersey Group 2 Championship on News 12 Varsity.
Jamie.
So one of our last images at the start of halftime was Connor Morgan getting the attention of the athletic training staff, and our first image of the second half is Connor Morgan now with a taped up left foot. He was carted back onto the field to try to preserve him, and now Anders Skala is holding on to the football as he's wrestled down shy of midfield.
Chandler on the stop. One takes over.
14-0 the score in favor of Manasquan over Bernards. Thomas Schnarr's our producer. I'm David Resnick here at Kean University, Union, New Jersey, our fourth and final game. Connor Morgan begins this series on the sideline. And so there's a big hole up the middle for his replacement. Canyon Birch, the sophomore, will see more action here. Picking up 5 yards on first down. Thomas Mayer continues as the lead back. To Birch, runs left. Good job by Kurt Gouland to blow up the Mayer attempt at a block. So the injury update is that Tommy Antonucci came back on the field, but now he's holding on to a crutch and by himself all the way to the left of the team. I suppose you could assume that his evening is over, and we'll continue to monitor the status of Connor Morgan, who at the moment has disappeared amongst the masses of blue jerseys on the near sideline. Third and 10. Marr throws, complete. James Pendergast contending that his knee was never down. Stopped 2 yards shy of a first down.
Wilson spotted at the 43-yard line, which will bring up a fourth and about 1.
Fourth and 1. Again, no Morgan. So even more pressure of this game on the offensive line to create even bigger openings for now the sophomore Canyon Birch. Hard count, and then a snap. Right side run, and a first down. Big play there on the conversion by Canyon Birch. And this drive continues with 9:30 to go in the third. The Warriors up 14-0. But they're playing here without their best player on the field. Damaso Jamie and James Pendergast at the top of the screen. Up the middle goes Birch, taking over the role as the feature back. Connor Morgan built the lead with 2 first-half touchdowns, and now he's missing in action. Jamie in motion. Up the middle goes the sophomore Birch. Really running what they would have for Morgan. And our intrepid producer, Thomas Schnars, finding number 22's hiding spot, staying very involved. With a 14-0 lead, the sense of urgency to get him back in is limited at the moment. If he's only got a certain number of carries in him, at a certain level of effectiveness, you want to make sure you use it at the right moment. Mayer, first man through on 3rd and short. First down. Warriors pick it up. Canyon Birch running room to the outside left. Bumped out of bounds by Matt Tantliff, but not before picking up a first down.
That will be another Manasquan first down.
Clock eating drive, already 4 minutes taken off of the 3rd quarter. Manasquan last won a section title in 2008. They've won all 11 of their section titles since 1990. Especially impressive when you consider that the state tournament dates back to 1974. Year 42.
Birch once again.
Canyon Birch stumbles forward.
Up by Morgan. Short gain. 2nd down and 9 at the 14.
Manasquan playing in the Shore Conference B North. Middletown South won the division with a 5-1 record. Their only loss to Middletown North on Thanksgiving, who finished tied for 2nd with Wall and Manasquan, each with a 4-2 record. Wall, though, beat Manasquan, so perhaps that's a head-to-head tiebreaker. Middletown North losing today at Rutgers to Sayreville. And this is Birch searching for the corner. And he stopped just short. Marked out at the 1, a 13-yard pickup, setting up 1st and goal, just shy of the goal line. So Canyon Birch in relief, picking up where Connor Morgan left off. Morgan with 2 first-half touchdowns. 1st and goal from the 1. Birch straight forward. Touchdown. A late call for 6 more points on the board, and the sophomore Canyon Birch forced into action with the injury to Connor Morgan. Those two with an exchange right there, and perhaps some words of wisdom and encouragement from the junior feature back. But Canyon Birch doing his job, helping out the cause. Adam Schreck adds the extra point. 21-0 midway through the 3rd, and the Warriors in complete control. Squib kick, mishandled by Hoover, and that allows the coverage team to race down the field to make the tackle. James Melly made the special team stop.
Mountaineers take over on their own 10-yard line.
So 6:08 to go. Nearly a 6-minute drive for the Manasquan touchdown. The Mountaineers get the ball for the first time here in the second half after being shut out through the first 24 minutes. Low snap, handoff, and the reverse. Tantliff bottled up immediately, even though he fights for additional yardage. And for a play that should have been a loss, Matt Tantliff makes the most of it to pick up about a yard. On the previous drive for Canyon Birch, 9 carries, 44 yards, and he capped it off with the short touchdown run. Mountaineers have the ability to stretch the field, and they need to do so here. They get Tantliff into space. He picks up a first down, but lost the football, and it's a takeaway for Manasquan. Third turnover after the completion to Tantliff, and as he was fighting for more yards, he lost it to Peter Mills.
Pete Mills on the recovery. Manasquan takes over at the 38-yard line. Fumble was caused by Jamie.
I believe Damaso Jamie was the one who caused the fumble. Best starting field position at the +38. Now Birch has to hold on to the football with Chisholm and Ben Martin trying to rip at it.
First carry.
3-yard pickup. Jerry Marr has the call. It's been tight playoff games to this point for Manasquan, and right now they're cruising in the final. Toss to Birch. Gets to the edge, a stiff arm of Tantliff. Manasquan just blocking with the 5 offensive linemen plus the fullback Mayer. Spreading out the rest of the personnel. Beg your pardon, also having Shrek as part of that front line, the tight end. But on this play, like he has on many, he lines up in the slot. Mayer slips away from a tackle. Mayer still on his feet. Number 25 is in from 27. It's all Manasquan in the Central Jersey Group 2 final.
On the conversion.
27-0 lead for Manasquan. Taking advantage of the 3 turnovers that they've caused to increase their lead to 28-0. So with a 28-0 lead, Connor Morgan might not appreciate it, but his day is looking more and more like it's over. But that's a good thing, because that means his team is continuing to control the game, which they have. Thrown back to Tantliff on the return. He reverses field to the original spot in which it was recovered. He's high-stepping his way down the sideline. Tantliff is loose, still on his feet. Oh my goodness, what a return for the touchdown. Matt Tantliff took on the entire Manasquan team. A one-man wrecking crew for the kickoff return touchdown. They're giving Tantliff a 90-yard return, and Jonah Walsh on to kick the PAT. It is off the upright and no good. So just 6 points on the board, and Connor Morgan, stay alert. Don't listen to me. There is a flag on the field, however, and perhaps Jonah Walsh will get another attempt. No flag on the play. So Walsh will have to wait for another opportunity. 28-6, 3:56 to go in the third. Manasquan leads, but the first points for Bernards comes on a Matt Tantliff 90-yard kickoff return on a play that originally started on the far side of the field and a lateral across the field, but then Tantliff came back that way anyway and high-stepped his way down the sideline for 6. If you're going to kick it towards Hoover and away from Tantliff, well, that's a way to get Matt involved. Starting to come alive here in the third quarter in his limited opportunities. Manasquan preparing for an onside kick from Jonah Walsh. It's kicked, though, by Lawless. Flag is down. To redirection. Did it go 10 yards? So a discussion with the flag down. Is this Bernard's ball? Have the Mountaineers built upon their momentum? Walsh lined up for the kick, but it was Timmy Lawless, the punter. Appears to be
Interference has been called
interference against Bernards.
So we're back to the 30.
So Manasquan did touch it before the 10 yards, which would make it a live ball, but if the person was interfered with who was looking to make the catch or recover the ball, that's the call. And a judgment one at that, which is why there is such an outroar from the far side. So this call has taken quite a bit of time to administer for what was a pretty speedy game. Do they have a second onside look? They do not. Short hopped into Steve Jarrah, and he gets helicoptered down.
So Ashburn on the recovery. Is back in his deal.
So outside of a special teams lapse, it's really been all Manasquan. (28-6), 3:47 to go in the third. They've scored a couple of touchdowns here in the quarter. Jamie in motion. This is the sophomore Birch. Huge hole on the right side of the line, carved by Matthew Hanlon, along with Ben Barry at right tackle.
At the 34.
8-yard pickup. I formation with a tight end. It's Shrek on the right side of the line. Mayer picks up the first down. Wrapped up by Ben Martin.
Down near the 30. Now the stop, and that's the first down for the Warriors.
3 minutes to go, third quarter. Sticks in position, so clock continues after the picking up of the first down. Connor Morgan has not re-entered the game after the injury late in the first half. His replacement, Canyon Birch, has been quite adequate in relief. There he goes, right side, breaking off of a tackle of Caldwell and smashing into Martin
Finally brought down by Martin.
for another good gain on first down. There he picked up 9. So 17 yards on the past 2 carries for the sophomore Birch. Two minutes to go, third quarter. Double tight end. And this time with extra blockers on the line and more men in the box.
Not by Beth.
Unsuccessful run.
Lost a yard. Third 2.
Third and 2. Birch, stiff arm. Ragged down inside the 20. Good enough for a first down, as we're now inside of a minute to go in the third quarter.
That's the first down for Manasquan. That's 17.
First and 10 at the 18. Warriors holding on to the football with a couple of hands there. Mayer. Warriors don't need to run another play. They can allow the third quarter to wind down. 10 seconds to go in the frame. Manasquan added to their lead. Bernards got their first points on a return from Matt Tantliff. Warriors with the lead, 28-6. Final 12 minutes of regulation coming up next. This is the Central Group 2 Championship on News 12 Varsity. Quarter 4 of game 4. Our quadruple header coverage from Kean University is coming to a close. 28-6, the lead for Manasquan over Bernards. 2nd and 6. This is the sophomore Canyon Birch. Running well for Manasquan in the second half because of the injury to Connor Morgan. Thomas Schnarr's our producer. David Resnick here in Union, New Jersey. 23 state and section finals overall. 18 of them can be found on News 12 Varsity. 4 games at 3 different sites today. Our coverage concludes tomorrow in East Rutherford, New Jersey with 4 games from MetLife Stadium. On 3rd and 4, Thomas Mayer pushing the pile. Good interior defense by Jason Mayer. Bernards putting their goal line defense out onto the field. Fourth and 1. D lineman crashing the middle. So Birch goes to the outside. He's dragged down by Mark Murphy, but not before the first down. That third quarter dominated by Manasquan. Bernards only ran 2 offensive plays during the course of those 12 minutes. Birch searching for real estate, and he gets pummeled by Bobby Portier. Manasquan on the penalty. DePorteri, this senior defensive tackle.
First and goal.
First and goal from the 16. Jerry Marr has not had to throw the ball very much. He won't have to here. Birch bottled up and dropped. Mastronardi helped contain. So too did Andrew Best and P.J. Chisholm. Approaching 9 minutes to go as the time of possession heavily favoring the Warriors. The pitch to the sophomore. Now the reverse. Pendergast speeds towards the end zone. There's a penalty marker down at the 8. It's against Manasquan.
Against Manasquan.
Thought Pendergast would have been marked down inside of the 2. His knee seemed to hit before he tumbled into the end zone, but it doesn't really matter as another penalty against Manasquan on this drive. If he was short of the end zone, I suppose you have a decision as to whether or not to accept the penalty. From the 18, it's second and goal. They just had goal to go from the 16. Running more plays in a way is to Manasquan's favor, because they can continue to take more time off the clock. Play fake. Marr floats it, end zone, high catch, touchdown. It's the tight end, Adam Schreck. Timely pass, Marr to Schreck for 18 yards, and it's 34-6 here in the 4th. After catching the touchdown pass, Schreck splits the uprights. 8:49 to go, 35-6. A steady performance by the Warrior offense, a dominating performance by the D. And Manasquan under 9 minutes away from program title number 12. Connor Morgan has had one of the best seats in the house. I'm sure he'd rather be out there, but you can see how heavily taped his left foot is now. That was new after halftime, and out of the break, he was taken on a cart to the field to preserve him, and then he tried to essentially flex or work out that foot. And it's a good question that Jay Price will never have to answer. What if he was needed? Could he have played? Instead, Coach Price could just look up at the scoreboard and enjoy the fact he never had to put his star back in harm's way. I think it would have been an interesting decision if Morgan was a senior. But knowing that there's still a full season to go, don't really see a lot in terms of the risk-reward. Mastronardi fakes it. runs it back across the 35-yard line. Just the threat of Matt Tantliff.
Please meet Bill Bruno on scoreboard at the Fieldhouse end. He can't help a Manasquan. Please meet with Bill Bruno.
8:39 remaining
Scoreboard at the Fieldhouse end.
as Bernards lines up for this 1st and 10. This is just their 3rd offensive play of the 2nd half. Stephen Gribben throws it up, complete. Matt Tantliff brings it in.
Matt Tantliff on the reception at the 45-yard line.
He was covered by James Pendergast. It's a 1st down out to the 45. Gribben steps up, throws, knocked down. Tantliff the intended target. This time, Tommaso Jamie winning that battle. Mountaineers in passing mode, understandably so, trailing 35-6. Gribben did throw 4 touchdowns last week, so does have the ability to air it out. But when you know it's coming, it's a bit more difficult, as the Warriors know to expect the pass. Gribben steps up, and the pass is short-hopped into the stomach of Alex Mastronardi.
Pass intended for Mastriani. Be 3rd and 10.
So it's 3rd and 10 after consecutive incompletions. Bernards won by narrow margin, similar to Manasquan. And now they're in the middle of a blowout. Gribben gets rocked, but he delivers an on-target pass to Mastronardi.
Makes the catch near the 45-yard line.
Good for 11 yards at a 1st down.
Down for Bernard. Blocked on the tackle.
Manasquan got a free shot at the quarterback, and Gribben took it right in the chest. 8 minutes to go in the 4th. Mountaineers are down 35-6. Gribben, pump and go. Tantliff, jump ball, and another interception for Manasquan. Their 3rd pick of the day, and there's room for Jamie to run it back past midfield.
For the Warriors, the ball's up to 38.
.39 on the clock as Manasquan breaks the huddle. 3 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, and a dominant ground game. Thomas Mayer running over tacklers. Physical Manasquan football.
First down for the Warriors.
23 yards for Mayer on 1st down. No Morgan, no problem. Absolutely incredible the way the Warriors have run the football in the 2nd half despite missing their workhorse back. What a credit to the offensive line. Morgan's replacement, Canyon Birch, just a sophomore, will return to the backfield next year with Morgan. 3-yard pickup, 2nd down 7. With the 2nd turnover committed by Bernard's offense in the 2nd half, the Mountaineers have run just 6 offensive plays. The turnovers plus the failed onside kick, plus the kickoff return, personal foul for unsportsmanlike. Things unraveling here for the Mountaineers. Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down. Jerry Marr will look to run down the play clock. False start. Nick Piero, the center, seemed a bit confused with what the plan was there. Well, no matter the way the Manasquan offense has operated today, an additional 5 yards to collect on 2nd down hasn't been an issue. 2nd and 6 from the 11. So this time Marr won't go under center until the 5-second count. Fullback dive. Another tackle for Ben Martin along that defensive line for the Mountaineers. $29-point lead for Manasquan. Just minutes away from returning to the winner's circle for the first time since 2008. This will be their 12th section title in the last 26 years. Birch handles the pitch. Cannot get by Tantliff. And then he's finished off by Kieran Corus. So it's 4th down. Birch lost 2 yards. 6 to gain here with 4:35 to go in the 4th. Marr milking the clock. This is Birch. 1st down. Another 4th down conversion for the Warriors today. Seems like every time they were faced with that situation, they picked up the needed yards with ease. Inside of 4 minutes to go. Mayer, one move, he's in. Thomas Mayer with a simple cut. His 2nd touchdown of this quarter. 41-6. Manasquan all over Bernards. Extra point is good.
Following the kickoff, we will have a running clock.
42-6. A 36-point lead. And so on the kickoff, there will be a running clock. A lot to cheer about if you're a fan of the Warriors. They were thorough in the first half, and this has turned into a beatdown in the second.